Oh, it's time. Oh, you love to see it. Rottweiler Performance. Wow, this box is light. Very light. A lot lighter than I expected, which in this case is a very good thing. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what I got in my package. It's from Rottweiler Performance. I'm not paid or anything like that. They're just a really great company and I've always had a good experience with them. So I'm ordering most of my parts with them, and we'll go ahead and open this up with my abnormally large box cutter. Again, you'll see why I'm saying this, but I'm really surprised by how light this box is. All right, let's see our goodies. Oh baby, nice little card. Oh. All right guys, so we got pretty much everything, you know. We got pretty much every Tekmo cover. So we got the motor covers. Nice, nice. Set these down here for now. Then we got the little key surround cover. Focus, there we go. Oh, nice. We've got the skid plate, or the underbelly protector. And obviously, if you haven't noticed, these are all carbon. They are extremely light. Oh wow, I forgot about these. We got some carbon fiber swing arm guards. Oh yeah. And last but not least, we got some carbon fiber fork tube covers. I actually didn't even want these, but they came in a package deal, so I guess we'll put them on. Unfortunately, these are like all one solid tube. I'll show you when I unpackage it, but basically we're going to have to remove the fork. So I guess let's go ahead and get this show on the road. All right guys, so I got my bike up on this dirt bike stand. Not really meant for a bike this heavy. I got some duct tape to help secure it, the rear wheel. Not like I literally duct taped it. I mean, like there's actually a roll of duct tape under the wheel. But it seems like it's going to work and it seems stable. The first thing that we need to do is clean the bike. I'm going to go ahead and show a montage of me cleaning the bike. Now, unfortunately, I obviously already did this. I did it yesterday. And some of my friends came over and wanted to ride the bike. So if you notice spots on it that are a little dirty, that I'll have to clean off again. I didn't do a bad job cleaning the bike. It's just my friends came over and ruined it right after I finished cleaning. So that's what that's all about.
Call me Bucky, lucky that I'm innocent. If I didn't have no morals, I'd be menacing. How about rapping conscious but he ignorant? How he found the hood but still gon' go legitimate? How he fuck a bunch of but they still respect the women. He still rollin' this another. He just got the windows tinted. Homie stabbed me in the back and that can never be forgiven. And my palms been itching, man. I like the superstition. You can't have my phone number unless we running up the digits. Let me meditate. I just need a couple minutes. Tryna low ball me, my cojones to the big ass. When I get high, I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like yeah. I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. When I get high. Let me meditate, then I celebrate. Tryna get the cake, I don't take a break. Yeah. Wait, grew up in the 90s, we was watching Ricky Lake. We was eating top ramen or a TV dinner plate. Made that couple dollars, so I probably get the steak. Throw 'em out at John and Venice, I told Quentin I'll be late.
Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and start with the fork covers. And I also wanted to mention that I just noticed two of the parts I ordered were on back order. And that's the heat shield for the exhaust, where it's kind of silver right there. That was on back order, and my sprocket cover was on back order. I also ordered both of those, Tekmo carbon, so same things. Depending on how long they're going to take to arrive, they may or may not end up in this video, so. You know, the double-sided tape worked, and I had the guard on nicely, and I went to slide the fork back in, and I realized the guards were too long. They said they were specifically for my bike, so I didn't even think to check, but yes, they are too long. So what I did was I went ahead and made, I don't even know if you guys will be able to see this on camera. It doesn't look like it, but just trust me, it's there. I made a Sharpie line across this. We're going to go ahead and cut these down, and we're going to try it again. Surprisingly, this little saw seems to be working pretty well. I used this over, my other idea for cutting this was to use a grinding wheel like a Metabo, but they usually take out a lot of material, you know, like they leave a thick cut mark basically, and this just leaves a really thin line, so I could get a really accurate cut by hand with this, and it's cutting right through it. Okay. Yeah, so we had to take 2 inches off. We got a pretty straight cut. It's actually not jagged at all, but I'm going to go ahead and sand it down just to make it perfect. Yeah, well, that's nice and smooth. Looks good. We'll go ahead and just wash this up, and then cut the other one and go ahead and stick these on the forks and get everything mounted back up. Okay guys, so I'll go ahead and show you what I meant about the double-sided tape. These tubes have to be able to slide over the fork, obviously, and the fork is a little bit wider right here than it is right here. So if I put some double-sided tape along the bottom of this, I could force this on top of it and it'll really hold it in place. So I just got some double-sided Gorilla tape here. Go ahead and do a quick all the way around the fork bottom here. So I have it lapping over itself a tad bit right here to build it out a little bit. Then that should be pretty close to tight enough. Might have built it out a little too thick. I'm not entirely sure yet. Let's go ahead and see. From the looks of it, looks like it's going to be about perfect. This double-sided tape method definitely makes this harder because normally this would slide right on, but kind of have to work it on now. You want to help me again? Oh, never mind. Got it. All right, guys. So you can see now we got the carbon fiber cover on the fork leg. I think the triple clamps should fit on here properly now. Looks pretty good. It doesn't readily spin. So let's go ahead and get this mounted back on the bike and see if it fits. Hey, what's up guys? So it's actually a different day, but I went ahead and got my axle and my forks and everything all centered, and centered the brake disc back onto the caliper. So this is how the carbon fork covers turned out. And I think they look pretty great, to be honest with you. The double-sided tape did work. They're very solid. So yeah, basically I've just been feeling under the weather, but we're going to go ahead and do the stator cover and the clutch cover now. And I'm going to lay the bike on its side so that we don't lose too much oil. The bike actually is ready for its oil change, but it's its first service. And usually with my bikes, for their first service, I take them to the dealer just to make sure everything's fine with it and have a real mechanic go over everything. Then after that, we'll be doing the oil changes ourselves. But for now, I need to try to keep the oil in the bike. So I'll be laying the bike down on its side so that we don't lose any. Okay guys, so we just got the stator and the clutch covers on, and now we're going to do the skid plate. As I was just telling my camera woman, the reason you lay the bike on the side, on its side, I'll go ahead and show you, is for the clutch cover. I didn't realize that. I'll just show you. You lay the bike on the side for this cover here because you need to remove this oil filter cap to get to this screw back here. You probably could get to it if you're persistent enough, but it's easier just to remove this. So unless you're doing an oil change, then you're going to want to lay the bike on the side so that you don't lose oil out of here. Okay guys, so this is the stator side cover, and I didn't realize you really don't need to lay the bike down for this one, because as you could see, you only are using a couple of the screws on it. So it's not going to break that gasket seal in here. So you could do this with your bike upright and it's not going to be a problem. And the shifter moves out of the way to allow this to fit on. All in all, I'd say they look pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and do the skid plate. Okay guys, here we are laying on the floor of the garage. I've never installed one of these, so I guess we're just going to see if we could figure it out. Looks like these little things go in here. Obviously, that would make sense. So it looks like the nuts fit right into these parts, and these parts slide into here. It doesn't look like they're centered, so I'm not sure which side is which. Trial and error, right? Oh, and I'll add that the reason that we're just winging this and trying to figure it out is because they don't include instructions. So I guess they just figured that if you can't figure this out, you're just dumb. Yeah, I think I got it figured out though. So it is nice that obviously with this skid plate, you're not going to be able to put your bike up on a motocross style stand anymore. You're going to have the bobbins for your wheels, which I am going to get, but if for some reason you did still need to use a motocross style stand where you need to lift the bike from down here, you'll be able to remove this skid plate quickly and easily just with 2 bolts, because these ones that I'm doing now will slide out and you'll only have to unbolt the 2 that go into the frame, and then this whole thing will come off. Can you get yours out now? Okay guys, so don't feel dumb if you can't figure this out when they didn't include instructions, because them not including instructions makes it seem like it's common sense. So maybe you are dumb, but you're not alone, because I'm dumb too. I just realized that these things that mount onto here, the little tabs that come out of them aren't centered. They're a little bit offset. You need to mount them on the sides where they're further out, if that makes sense. You need to make sure these tabs are mounted on the sides that they're further out towards the edge of the skid plate.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got mine now. Yours good?
Yeah, it's all the way in.
Yeah, that worked that time. These bolts right here, I don't know if you guys could see this. They go into this little hole at the top of the skid plate. It's your motor mount, so they go into your motor mount. There's little holes there for the skid plate. Oh yeah. Okay guys, so we got the skid plate all mounted up, and now all we have left is the key surround and the swing arm covers. We do have the carbon heat shield for the exhaust and the sprocket cover coming, but they're on back order and I don't know if they'll make it in this video. So here's how it looks. Everything sits flush. I really love this side, how the stator cover tucks up into that skid plate. Really, really clean look. And we got our fork guards. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and do the key surround. And same thing, I haven't watched any videos on this. It doesn't come with instructions, so we're just going to take the bike apart and try to see if we could get it back together. Huh. Okay guys, so as you just witnessed, that was a super hard install. I was actually surprised, you know, I took the seat off and it felt like that piece would just pop off, and sure enough it does. There's some little tabs on the underside of it. So the key surround cover was really easy. We'll go ahead and take a look at how it turned out. Now, to be totally honest with you guys, this is really dumb, but this was the piece I was most excited for, because I don't know, it has such a presence on the bike and I really feel like it stands out. Definitely worth the money. Super easy install. You just pop the seat off, pop that cover in, and you're good to go. And it looks really great. So now I guess we're on to the swing arm covers and we'll be done unless this heat shield decides to show up in the next couple of days. Okay guys, so now we're on to these swing arm covers. And I did watch some videos of people installing these and some tips of how to do it. And I formulated my own plan for how I'm going to do this. So they come with zip ties to hold them together. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to keep the zip ties or not. But what I did do is I got some double-sided tape. This is Gorilla brand and it's very sticky. I'm going to put some of that on here to hold it on. And then I have this RTV 4500 silicone sealant, which is good for carbon fiber and metal. And it comes off pretty easily once it's dry, if you ever need to take it off. So you'll be able to rip this off still, and this will just peel off all in one easy strip off of metal. So I'm going to apply some of this on so that no water or dirt gets under this and to help it adhere. And I think that should be enough to not have to use zip ties, but we'll just go ahead and see. So to start out, I'm going to just kind of dummy mount this piece on here and make sure it fits well. Then I'm going to decide where I want my tape. I'm going to wipe this area down with alcohol so everything adheres nicely. Then I'm going to put the tape and the sealant caulking on, and then I'm going to go ahead and mount the cover. And I'll probably put the zip ties on that come with it to help hold it together while the sealant is curing and the tape is adhering. So these parts are extremely lightweight. I mean, obviously this is a bit excessive because they're all real high quality carbon fiber. As I said, they're a bit excessive, but they are worth the money though. They're high quality, nice parts. I'm going to have to go ahead and remove my passenger pegs to make this a little bit easier. All right guys, so if you're doing this install and you have your passenger pegs or even that little block off plate that goes back here, if you don't have passenger pegs, you'll probably want to remove it just to make this an easier install. Wow, yeah, that is a really, really nice fit. It just kind of slides on to the very back of your swing arm and hooks on. Man, yeah, it looks good. Fits nicely. So we'll go ahead and get this area prepped and figure out where I'm going to put the tape and the sealant. I just have some basic alcohol here that I used for working on my RC car, and some basic shop towels. We'll go ahead and wipe this area down. Okay, so now that it smells like a hospital in here, I think that everything should stick nicely. I just have to think about this and be careful about where I put the double-sided tape, because I'm worried that it's going to cause this cover to sit a little further out than it was intended, because it is such a perfect fit. I have to see if there's any gaps in it where the tape could fill in. So I'm going to go ahead and put some pieces of tape where I know those gaps are to help kind of fill them in so that it doesn't push this too far out from the swing arm. Yeah, and you know, all these parts look really good with these new generations of 701, because I initially didn't like this, but now that I have these parts, it's really grown on me. The frame and the forks on this gear of 701 are all black, so they look really good with the carbon and with these carbon swing arm covers. When I first saw these a few months ago, I didn't really like them, and I didn't really plan on getting them, but they came in the kit, so they've kind of grown on me, and I think they're going to look good with everything else on this bike being black and carbon. All right, now we'll go ahead and apply some silicone sealant. Honestly, if you're using this bike as intended as a supermoto and you're not riding off-road, then this probably isn't necessary. I think just the double-sided tape alone will hold this on based on how well it's holding those front fork covers on. But I just think you can never be too safe, and I want these to be really secure. And who knows, maybe I will end up riding off-road with this bike, so I don't want any dirt to get in here. So you just want to get a nice clean bead with this. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the edges to where the dirt could get in. I went with a small bead. You might want to go a little thicker because it will be easier to peel off all in one piece if you remove this in the future. But oh well, I'll just deal with it. Oh yeah, that already feels so stuck, like it's not going to go anywhere, so I think this method's going to work well. I honestly don't even think it's necessary to use the silicone. I think just the tape alone really is going to hold this for quite a while. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. I like it a lot more than I expected. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and get the other side, and then this project will be done for now unless these other parts decide to show up. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. We have her all done. It turned out really well. I'm excited for those other parts to come, and Now that I've done this, I actually want to get more carbon fiber on this bike, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'll be needing to get an exhaust, and now at this point with all the carbon I have on this bike, I'll definitely be going for something with a carbon fiber tip just to kind of tie it all together. I'll show you a montage of how they all look out in the wild. So as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and give that subscribe button a little finger action too while you're at it. It's the best way you could support me. If you have any questions about any of these parts or any opinions on any of them, then you could go ahead and leave a comment below. I answer all my comments. So hope you guys enjoyed.